In some places in this country now, a gallon of gas costs more than people on the federal minimum wage are making in an hour. What does the White House want these people to do? Just stop driving to work?
Look, the president understands what it feels like. Deese just spoke about this. Brian Deese was just here and talked about how he understands what it means for people who are sitting at their kitchen table and see gas prices go up. He understands that feeling personally, or seeing prices of groceries go up in the grocery store. This is something that he is inherently aware of, and he is doing everything that he can. As Brian Deese was just here, his economic advisor, one of his top economic advisor, laying out what he is planning to do or continue to do to make sure that we lower costs at the gas pump. Brian also said that we are dealing with an unprecedented time with global challenges that we have never seen before. And that includes clearly the pandemic, that includes Putin's tax hike that we're seeing this past couple of months, that has had an effect on gasoline prices. $1.50 went up since Putin has amassed his troops on the border of Ukraine. These are real, global issues that has led to this moment. But the president is doing everything that he can to make sure that we address this issue.
And you just mentioned Putin a few times as a reason for recent inflation. Do you guys think that any part of inflation this year is because of President Biden's spending plans, or is it all Putin's fault?
Well, what I can say is we are, and Brian just spoke to this, we are at a historic place when it comes to the economy, when it comes to unemployment being at the lowest that we have seen in some time, when it comes to the president creating more jobs in his first term, his first year, than any other president, more than 8.5 million jobs. Now we're going to a place where we're going into transition, where we're going to see an economy that's more stable, that's more steady. So that's because of the American Rescue Plan that the president signed into law, that no Republican signed or voted for, I should say, and all of that work that he's done the first year has led us to a place where there are more jobs out there, more jobs are being created, that we are in a place where we're seeing economic growth. Now, and also, as I've stated, this is an unprecedented time with COVID. This is an unprecedented time with the war. And so that Putin has created and started on Ukraine. And so we have seen, data has shown us since these past couple of months, since the war, we have seen an uptick on gas prices.
So I guess the next question would be, does President Biden take any responsibility for his policies potentially contributing to inflation?
His policies has helped the economy get back on its feet. That's what his policies has done. When we talk about the gas prices right now, this is indeed Putin's gas hike. This is what we have seen in the most recent months of what we've seen at the gas pump. And so that is a fact. We have seen about 60% increase in the past several months, and because of the amassing and his invasion of Ukraine. And so the president, his goal right now, and what he is frustrated about, is what the American people have to go through, and what they are trying to deal with as they are around their kitchen table. So that is his focus right now. Go ahead.
The president has talked about understanding from his life experience those difficulties, economic hardships, and so forth. Does he consider it a crisis for American families that prices are at this 40-year high? He understands the hardship that people are going through. He understands how difficult it is for families. He understands that. That's why he has done everything that he can and taken steps in many different ways to make sure that we lower cost. We announced new actions to give farmers the tools and resources they need to boost production and lower food prices and feed the world. High-speed internet for tens of millions of Americans. We announced new steps with
with the private sector to lower those prices. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office found that the deficit fell by 1.5 trillion this year, and it actually fell even more in most regions.
Is it a problem? Is it a hardship? Is it a crisis? What is it that people are facing?
It is, we're just in a difficult time right now with this inflation. That's why he's doing everything that he can. Look, his op-ed, he talks about this explicitly, about what he knows the American people are going through. And he laid out what it is that he's going to do to really fight against inflation. So it is something that he is aware of. This is clearly, right, as president, is something that is a priority to him.
As you focus on the messaging, have you learned lessons from that where you discussed it as transitory and now, 15 months later, we're still here?
Look, I think that what the president has done with respect to communications has been to consistently explain to the American people where we are and where we need to go, and that continues to be the way that he approaches this issue, and very much from the perspective of what it feels like to sit around a dining room table or a kitchen table in this country, because that's his lived experience, and that's the way that he approaches these economic policy questions. And so he understands that right now the top issue on people's minds is prices at the gas station, prices at the grocery store, and he's made very clear, and he's communicating very clearly that that's his top economic priority, and that we can address this from a position of strength, and that we can make this transition to stable growth without sacrificing all of those gains if we make the right decisions going forward.